In this video, we're going to be breaking down how to sell on the Walmart marketplace in 2025 for beginners. With me is my good friend Coda. Combined, we've done over $3.5 million in sales on Amazon, and we are now trying our best to tackle the Walmart marketplace. We're still pretty new into our journey, but that's why we're creating this video. We want to break down what we've experienced so far, what we've learned, and try to provide some good insight to the beginners watching this video. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. So first question I have for you, Coda, when did you start selling on Walmart and then why?
I think I opened the account in August or September of 2024. I was actually networked from Amazon. Network is everything. And I was in a group. I found myself in a group with everyone selling on Walmart but me. And like, you need to jump on Walmart, bro. I was like, all right, well, yeah, I guess this was happening. And this is when I was doing probably, I think, my record high months in Amazon. So I was like, I'm kind of busy doing all this with Amazon, but we started it. Pretty much, we started that account for like liquidation. So like some of the bad buys, which wasn't much, but some of the inventory that is just sitting there that's over 60 days old, we listed it on Walmart to see if it would sell. And actually, some of it did sell for a higher price. Instead of you got 40, 50 people on a listing and you're breaking even, if I'm still going to be sitting on it, I might as well put it on a different platform, because any money that's held up in inventory for longer than, let's say, if you're running off credit, you paid it off. So either you hold it until you're making a lot, or time to get rid of it. So Walmart was a really good solution for that.
I think you're spot on. Yeah, I started learning about Walmart. This is like late 2024 after not only just the section 3s that Amazon had been handing out to seem like almost all sellers, but there were a couple big brands, I think like Nike, what were a couple other ones, Coda, like in 2024, like I think Kate Spade was one, potentially that got like red restricted.
Let's see, Tide, Dove, Olay, Converse, and I don't know. There's a lot, and only select few are able to sell it. Like, it doesn't mean, I'm not saying like all of these brands no one could sell. It was, I don't know. It kind of looks random, or maybe people who just sold so much of it. Like, for example, with like Dove and Tide, I could sell those.
Yeah, it's very confusing. And I think that uncertainty had a lot of people go to Walmart to sell, their products that they were now gated for on Amazon, or, they're trying to liquidate some products that maybe had tanked in price on Amazon. And so I started to hear some people in my network that started to have success. I look into it and it didn't catch my attention until I looked at my own Amazon catalog, the products I was selling. I found the exact listing, same pictures, same title, the same item on Walmart, and majority of the time it was selling for a higher price point, which I thought was really interesting. And now, obviously, from what Code and I have gathered, and I think the sales volume on Walmart compared to Amazon is much, much lower. And so I said, you know what? Let me go ahead. I'm always interested in diversifying. So now it's the next question I had for you is I applied for my Walmart marketplace account. Now it took me about 9 days for them to review my info and to get approved. How long did it take you, Coda? Because I know some people it's quick, sometimes it's taking people longer.
I'm like 99% sure it was like 2 or 3 days. I thought it was two. It wasn't a week for sure. But yeah, I just applied. I attached my Amazon storefront, and boom, that was good.
Yeah, I know a lot of people just use their Amazon LLC. They ask for some kind of like website. If you're an Amazon seller, just use your storefront. I think they ask a couple more questions. Pretty straightforward. I think they're looking for the quality sellers to bring in, and should hopefully take too long with people coming in. But my next question for you and for those watching as well is, what were your first few days like selling on Walmart? Your first week, because obviously it's a new marketplace. What was it like for you?
I was lost. Not even gonna lie. I was very confused. I especially because I don't have like a background of selling on eBay or really any other online platform. So it's kind of different for me, especially because Amazon was the first online platform that, I did e-commerce. So, everything that I learned was from there. So it was just kind of confusing. It wasn't like extremely difficult to get it set up. But there was just some mistakes that were made, that, common mistakes. Like, for example, one of them is like, so since I do, a lot of RA, cash carry wholesale, OA, all that, I do a lot of FBM, and that means I have the products here or close by. And so I'm listing a whole bunch of stuff. So, I mean, we're still new. We got like 100 and close to 100, I guess ASINs you would call it, or UPCs, products in my Walmart catalog. And I noticed that when I was trying to update the inventory, so I was doing them one by one, and this was like the most confusing headache because I had no idea even what I did. I figured it out. So when I did update inventory and I hit the check box for the selection of the unit, then I just went to the next one. I didn't uncheck them.
Mm.
You have to uncheck them. So I'm like changing the inventory 7 on this one, 8 on this one, but then I have them all selected and it was updating to whatever the last one that I had. So I think the last one I put like, it was like 8 units or something like that. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I just got 3 sales today, but I don't have any of them. What do I do? So that was just kind of confusing. Walmart definitely still newer, like you said, Carter. But it's definitely an opportunity for sure. Uh, just not as much competition. And if somebody's so used to Amazon and they tried to do Walmart and it doesn't work, um, I don't think that they're going to really dig into it super deep. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some people will, but it's just a different feel. So, like some people, once they get comfortable, they like to stick to what they're doing. You have to learn. So, yeah.
And I think the skill set, like buy low, sell high, like that's pretty easy to translate to other platforms. But like Walmart's a whole new platform. Like their dashboard is way different from Amazon, and they're very far behind. How do I know this? I got to talk to my Walmart account specialist. Maybe we'll get into this in this call or a future call. But he told me the Walmart marketplace is where Amazon was in 2017. So obviously Amazon is way ahead of the game in terms of what they're able to provide for their sellers. And so Walmart is still behind, but I do feel like they have a very good team behind the operations. And just like anything, you're going to have to, like, there's no instant success with Walmart. And so I think Amazon sellers see it as an out. They try it, they get confused, and then they go back to Amazon, where they rightfully have more experience, more confidence. But I think me and you are okay kind of testing, feeling out the market, and then taking advantage once we have that more additional confidence. And then I think you said you do a lot of like FBM or seller fulfilled. So I know a lot of people watching are like, Carter, what is WFS? Should I do WFS? Should I do seller fulfilled? What did you start out doing, Coda?
So, me telling my coaching students, with Amazon, I would highly recommend starting RA to FBM. Say you buy the product, you're brand new. Okay. I mean, if you're doing this in your years of selling and you're buying a bunch of stuff from bad buys and returning it, and you're 3 years into your journey, come on, what's going to stop? But if you're brand new, I kind of give, every dollar means everything when you're brand new, especially when you're starting with either on credit or a low capital amount. So, I mean, I would say like doing the RA to FBM is a good test on Walmart just because there's not enough data. Like there's not a lot of software, first off. Then, how long has that company been doing this for Walmart? Probably not as long as most of the seller, softwares for Amazon because it's been around longer, So, how accurate is the data? That's another thing. So, if you're shipping it in and you don't really know because you can't analyze the data or the data might be wrong, you know, starting off and let's say you're sending in a bunch of units, and this can kind of relate to Amazon too if you don't know how to read Keepa good, and you're sending it in, it doesn't sell. Now what? Now you got to pay to get your stuff back. So what I've been doing, for Walmart is seller fulfilled. It literally started with just the liquidations that I had, stuff that either tanked and I don't feel like waiting 3 months for the price to recover. Well, it sells, I'm making 15% profit on Walmart. So I'll list it there. So I'd say test buying and doing seller fulfilled for whatever item, at least 10 of them, for whatever item that you plan to send in for WFS. Why I recommend it is because if it sells seller fulfilled, it's probably going to sell WFS. That's from my experience is if it sells seller fulfilled, it at least sells WFS.
Agreed. Yeah. My account specialist said WFS is king. And, we see the same thing on Amazon. FBA is, the same equivalent of WFS. With FBA, your shipping times are obviously way faster. You have prime 2-day shipping compared to the other merchant filled offers. And you can often charge a higher price point, maybe a couple bucks higher, depending on the item, sale price, than those FBM sellers and still get buy box share. And I think you're spot on. Like, I think my first week on Walmart, I spent like $2,200 on inventory. I spread it out across like 19 different products, and I'm actually sending all of mine WFS just because I'm lifestyle wise. I don't really want my apartment to turn into a warehouse. Hopefully, that doesn't come back to bite me in the butt. But I also did a lot of test orders. Like I didn't spend over $100 in buy cost on any certain item. And these are also all products that I also sell on Amazon. So if something was to happen, I could essentially create a return, a removal order, and then sell them back on Amazon. So not too worried in that aspect. But Coda, I think you were spot on. I think as a beginner, like watching this, I would recommend you buy it and list it seller fulfilled and just get a feel for how it moves, how quickly it sells. And once you build that confidence, then you can order more and send it WFS. But I also see WFS just being king. There's on the 20 or so products I bought, 90% of the sellers were seller fulfilled. So that means there's like a huge gap in terms of what products and sellers are WFS. So I might eat my words, but I do see that as a big opportunity going forward there.
Yeah, the items though that you sent in, like you started WFS. Now, you've said that you sold them before on Amazon, right?
Correct.
And you did it FBA?
I believe so. Yeah, most of the stuff FBA on Amazon.
Right. So just from your history on Amazon, and it doesn't always work. Like it sells so good on Amazon. It'll sell on Walmart. It might not work like that, but I'm sure if it is has a good sales rank on Amazon and you sold it before and it sold fast, it's most likely going to sell on Walmart, just not at the same velocity. For most items, I mean, some items might sell better on Walmart than Amazon. I'm not really too sure about it, but I think you got a pretty good logic. If you've sold these items before, so why not just WFS?
I think you're spot on. And, I might have been a little too bold with it as well in terms of the testing. But, just a few units here. I have Amazon as the backup and just really trying to gather data. I'm sure I'm going to have some listings that sell like this and some that, might be duds, might sit for a month, 2 months, 3 months. But I think because I'm willing to test that data, I feel like I'm going to be able to come back even stronger as well. But that's why you have relationships like Code and I have, other sellers that you can talk to, network with, and see kind of how others are getting a feel for the marketplace as well. I'm still very new to. I'll actually give you an example. My first product I purchased, it was selling on Amazon for like $23 to $26. At any given time, there were 12 to 16 sellers on the listing, and it sells about 130 to 150 times a month on Amazon. This is a toy. On Walmart, there were 0 sellers on the listing. So, I didn't really have any, pricing to judge off. There's no like Keepa for Walmart where I can see the selling history. So it's a lot of guessing, which can kind of make it a little difficult, but also exciting because the harder it is to determine how well an item sells, the less people are going to attempt it, and good for the people that are like Coda and I and everyone else that's kind of getting into the game early. But let's talk business models. I haven't heard of a single person doing wholesale on Walmart, which I thought was interesting. So, Coda, what business model are you doing right now on Walmart?
I just use, pretty much just all RA. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to think. Any OA? Well, I guess OA too. Some of the products that I bought OA that got restricted, sell it on Walmart. It definitely helped a lot. Um, I'd say the first real month that I started hitting Walmart and actually not just sourcing for Amazon and liquidating was December. Um, and our sales, I think it was like 6,400 or something like that for total sales. Except for our profit margin was ridiculous.
Mm.
I don't know what accounting software is the best, or still new here with it. So um, just kind of manually, but I know that for sure, easily it was over 30. I'm thinking it was probably closer to 40% margin, which is almost not even believable for Amazon.
Ridiculous for like
Yeah,
Amazon sellers, you
yeah,
know.
someone who's actually pushing over 40, 50K a month. There's no way they're over 30%, or definitely not no 40. Um, that's what I think about it, really. Um, what do you think?
I think that's why Walmart's super exciting right now. And yeah, I mean, you took advantage of, you had December, Q4, so that increased sales volume, higher price points, made it a super great month. And hopefully we can continue that again. And I think, like you mentioned, like there's not many softwares. Like you're not sure, like, I haven't really heard of any, like, there's no one dominant software in the Walmart marketplace for whatever reason. The only software I'm using right now is something called Martyr. It's very similar to like a seller amp for Amazon. It's got like a profit calculator, some other things like I think like buy box history, low price history, but a lot of it's like inaccurate. I don't think it's very well updated. Hopefully that changes going forward because that will make it obviously much easier for us sellers as well. And then, I'm doing 100% online arbitrage. That's what I do on Amazon. And so it's just very easy for me to sell the same products my team and I are finding on Walmart as well and test. But from what I've gathered in terms of like listening to other people talking my network, a lot of people are crushing it with retail arbitrage. Finding because you can scan a lot of products very quickly, and there's not many gated brands on Walmart as of today. Thank goodness. I'm sure that will change going forward if it's anything like the Amazon marketplace. That's why we're creating this content. I think it's an amazing opportunity right now. And then if you can find something on clearance on a discount, like typically it's selling for a higher price point on Walmart, there's less sellers most of the time, probably less sales volume compared to Amazon, but I definitely see an opportunity there. Um, and so what tips do you have, Coda, for the beginner Walmart seller watching this video? Maybe they just created their Walmart account, they're trying to have some more success, or maybe they're an Amazon seller just like us, and they're like, hey, Carter and Coda are getting onto Walmart, maybe I should attempt it too. Like, what are some good tips and advice that you could pass on to that person?
All right, so if you're a brand new Walmart seller and you don't sell on Amazon, I mean it's gonna be tricky. Just because I don't really know what the best software is either. Like you said, Martyr. That's why I hear like the people who have been doing Walmart for a little bit. I'd say that's probably gonna be the first step. I wouldn't go deep on any products though, just because I'm sure in the next 6 months, if not year, Martyr or another software is going to come out that's going to be more accurate, more data, so you can actually analyze like the product and see if it's actually going to be a good product to buy or whatnot. But yeah, if they haven't sold on Amazon, um, definitely Martyr. Just go scan and see what you got. Uh, Probably just like Walmart, like go to Walmart, the store, or Walmart.com. But if you go to the store, you know, that might be sold out, which this is what I've done is literally just at the store, replenishes every week or two whenever Walmart gets the shipments. And sometimes when Walmart does come back in stock online, um, what I've seen at least is that the listing becomes unpublished, which that seems like the biggest flaw. Just because, like, I like to buy, a lot of a few items. That's what works really, really well for me on Amazon. So, I'll buy 400 of something, in 2 days. And I've sold it before. Did a test buy. It's good, and that's kind of how just things how I roll, you know. But yeah, with Walmart, I mean, it's so new. There's going to be so much different stuff in the next year that I mean, it's going to all come together. So jumping in it early is definitely going to give you advantages, but it might be harder. But there's those advantages where they're coming harder. Now, if you're an Amazon seller now and you're thinking about going to Walmart, you could kind of do, and this is what I do too, just being a few months in on Walmart, but 2 years experience on Amazon, is I just use the seller amp calculations, what it's selling for on Walmart, put that like the sale price on the seller amp. Now the fees are going to be off, right?
Right.
But if the fees, I think seller fulfilled is the same. Maybe not. Is it 15% for Walmart? Do you know?
I
Or is
haven't
it
figured out the
13?
exact percentage yet.
Yeah, it's either, I think it's 13 or 15. But either
I just
way,
know they have
so
less fees than Amazon.
yes. So exactly. So pretty much I'm basing it off that price what Seller Amp tells me. Just because I want to base it on the worst possible percentage. Like if it is 15%, I should probably look into that. But if it is 15%, then this is how much I'm making. And usually even at that like price, it's usually good for most items. Some items it's not, but most items that I've been finding, the price is higher. So I can do it as that, you know. But yeah, just use Seller Amp and kind of get like a rough estimate until I would say probably sometime this year they're going to come out. A few things here to come out, softwares that are really going to change the game.
Yeah, I think things will get easier for sellers, but as soon as it gets easier, now it's now easier for everybody to
Yeah,
decide right quantities, find the right listings. And so I think while it's kind of the wild west right now, like while it's a little bit more difficult, I think it's probably more profitable than maybe it might ever be. So great time to get in. What I would say for the beginners watching, like if you haven't created your Walmart account, like go ahead and get that step done. Like as more sellers start entering the marketplace, like it might take a little bit longer for your account to get approved. And then obviously, if it's anything like Amazon, the older account you have, like you might get grandfathered into some brands, which is definitely huge if you know anything about Amazon. But if you are an Amazon seller and you're listening to this, I do believe that your skill set will translate much easier to selling on Walmart than Coda mentioned, like someone that has zero e-commerce experience and wants to get started on Walmart might be a little bit more difficult. But there's a couple key brands that I'm happy to share with everyone that someone smarter than me passed on to me to work on for Ungates. It was, I think, like what was it? Disney, Pokemon, Lego. I think those are like the three big ones. Maybe another toy brand or two. And you only need one unit for an Ungate as well. And then, like Coda mentioned as well, I highly recommend you just test small quantity purchases. Test and see how it goes. If it does go well, go back and order more. I think the last thing you want to do is come in with an Amazon mindset, try to stock up too deep, and then get held holding the bag, holding too much inventory as well. But that's going to go ahead and wrap up our call today. If you want more e-commerce, Amazon, Walmart related content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to follow Coda's journey on Amazon, on Walmart, if you want to reach out, ask him questions, want some retail arbitrage tips, coaching, I'll have his Instagram in the first link in the description of this video. You'll go check it out, give him a follow. We'll have any other, softwares we mentioned, my Instagram below in the description, so check that out. If y'all have any questions for Coda or I, comment them below in the description of this video. We'd be more than happy to get them answered, Coda. I appreciate you hopping on. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.